Hey y'all, I'm Ella and welcome to StuyEats' very first cooking tutorial. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make flourless brownies, and I talked about this in my last interview, and they're made with sweet potatoes and they're super good. And yeah, I'm just going to show you how it's done. So I have my sweet potatoes right here. You only really need one per batch, but I'm making 2 batches for my family. So here is going to be the video of me going shopping. So here it is.
Hello, so it is 10:30 on a Thursday. Don't know if you can hear me through my mask. I'll try to bring the volume up when editing. So I'm walking to the store right now. I'm gonna go buy some sweet potatoes for the brownies. I already have the chocolate, I have everything else, but I'm really excited to be filming the video. I'm making it tomorrow. I'm buying 2 sweet potatoes because I'm making a double batch, so I'm excited. And yeah, I guess I can show you how I pick them out, right? Because then it's like sort of a tutorial. Okay, I will update later. And here is where I drop a sweet potato because I have a total request.
Say something. So as you can probably tell, I tried to get like good videos of myself picking out the sweet potatoes so you would get a sense, but it didn't really work out, so I'll just show you them now. So you just want like a good medium-sized one. They're like kind of large, kind of medium, and just kind of smooth, so there aren't really any bumps. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do, the recipe says that you have to bake them in the oven for half an hour at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. But for me, I find that barely ever works. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put it in the microwave, because when I put it in the oven, it softens up a little, but not enough, and I always end up putting it back in the microwave anyways. So what I'm gonna do, I'm also gonna peel them, because you're going to have to take the peel off anyways, but once it's hot, it's still a little difficult to take off the peel, and you find yourself cutting around it, and it's not as easy. So I'm gonna take off the peel now for both of these. Okay, so now that these are peeled, they still have a little bit of peel on them because it got on while I was peeling. So I'm going to wash them. I think that's really helpful. Sorry. So let me just throw out all of my scraps. That's why I always do it stuff on a bounty, so that I could just easily pick it up and throw it out. Let's take a journey to wash the sweet potatoes. Okay, so now I'm gonna put them in the microwave. So if you have 1 sweet potato, you can put it in for 10 minutes, because usually after I bake it, I put it in for 7. But when I have 2, I'm gonna put it in for 15 minutes. And I don't want to use a microwave safe bowl just yet, so I'm just gonna use a plastic plate. Okay, so now that the sweet potatoes are in the oven, we're gonna move on to the rest of the batter. Okay, so before I continue, I just want to remind you guys that this recipe is not my own. It's from Dig In, which is sort of a chain of salad restaurants around the city. And basically, I found this on their Instagram, so I will link it down below. And I will also show photos of the ingredients, the tips, and the actual recipe right here. Okay, so based on the directions that I just have right there, you have to combine the ingredients after you do the sweet potato and the chocolate. But while this is happening, I'm going to do the sugar and the eggs and the vanilla So I'm just gonna whisk it, but you really don't have to. Technically, you don't have to beat anything, so I might just be using a spatula. So I realized I didn't have enough eggs at home, so I'm going on a detour to buy more eggs. I have everything else. Can I make it home before the sweet potatoes are finished? Who knows? Okay, so the recipe calls for 5 eggs, and I got more eggs because I didn't have enough for a double batch. And yes, I did make it home in time. For sweet potatoes, there were 15 seconds left. Okay, so I'm gonna crack 10 eggs. Okay, so I have my 10 eggs. Then you're gonna add a 1/4 cup of sugar per batch. So you actually can completely omit the sugar because there's still chocolate, so like it will still taste good without the sugar, and you have the sweet potato. But yeah, I just stick to the recipe. Okay, so then you're gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and if you are starting to bake a lot, I definitely recommend investing in measuring spoons because they're a lot more precise than just having regular spoons. So it really helps me personally. So I love vanilla, so I'm really excited for that part. Okay, and then you're just gonna mix them. So you can whisk it together, but you can also mix it together. You don't have to beat the eggs. So I'm just using a spatula, and I'm just gonna use that for all of the parts and just kind of break apart the eggs, the egg yolks, and yeah. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's like pretty thick, but it's how it should look. Take a look at our sweet potatoes. So I already started mashing it, and I'm using a potato masher, but you can totally use a fork. And I'm just like, as you can see, it like mashes easily. And you really, really want to make sure it's smooth because this outer part, even though we took off the skin, that's the part that is a little rough still. So you definitely want to make sure it's all smooth because it's going to be part of your batter, just the puree completely. And do this while it's still warm because you want to put it in the batter while it's warm. Okay, so this is what my sweet potato looks like. It doesn't look very appealing, but it's like pureed, which is great because it's exactly what you want it to look like. So you're just going to add that back into the batter. It's like sticky, which is good. And make sure it's still warm. If it's not warm, put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds because then it should warm up a little bit, or you can put it back in the oven if you use the oven. Okay. You're also gonna add the baking soda and the baking powder. So it's a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, so now you're gonna stir this all together. So the reason we're using our baking soda or baking powder is as our leavening agents, and the reason we're using baking powder 3 times as much as baking soda is because baking soda is also about 3 times more powerful than baking powder. Make sure to really incorporate that sweet potato in. So while you're gonna finish whisking together, comes the best part, chocolate. And you're just gonna put it to melt in the microwave. So I'm using the semi-sweet chocolate chip, but you can also use dark chocolate for a richer taste. But yeah, so you need 2 cups per batch. I'm just grabbing a microwave safe bowl and measuring these out. Guys, I'm so tempted to eat this, but it's only 11 a.m. Okay, so I'm just like making sure that this was about 2 cups, the whole bag. So I'm just gonna put the entirety of the rest of the bag in. So yeah, if you like, each bag is about 2 cups if you don't eat any. And that's kind of a struggle. So you're just gonna microwave it on your microwave melt setting so that it's melted. And also, this is something like sweet potatoes that you want to keep warm. So when you're done mixing the sweet potatoes into the sugar and the eggs and stuff, it should have a very deep orange color, and there might still be some lumps from the sweet potato puree. That's okay, because you can just also like squish them down with your spatula and break them apart, and it will also get baked into the batter. And when you're gonna add the melted chocolate, it's also gonna incorporate better. So I'm gonna give you a closer look right now. Sort of like this. It looks kind of lumpy and like gross, but it's orange and it has to have this like nice, almost, it's smooth, but also has lumps, but that's just because of the puree. And don't worry about it, it's gonna get baked in. And just make sure to press it down. Okay, so this is literally my favorite part, is when the chocolate is melted and then you mix it so that it's like, you don't see the chocolate chips anymore, you just see the chocolate. Oh my god, it's the best part. Okay, it literally looks so good. I'm so happy. Literally my dream come true. It's so tempting to like eat this and like try it, but I can't because it has to be safe for the brownies, and it's like, I really shouldn't be eating chocolate at 11 a.m. Oh my god, it looks amazing. So now you're gonna add your chocolate into your batter, and no, this is not all of the chocolate because it did not all fit in one bowl, so I have another bowl currently microwaving. So yeah, you're just gonna pour it in. Try not to get it on the arm of your spatula because I do that a lot, and it's very, very uncomfortable. Hi guys, it's Editing Ella, and I was really gonna cut this out, but you have to watch my commentary. It's really funny. I did it. So, bowl number 2 chocolate just came out of the microwave. And I'm gonna mix that, and I'm gonna use a spatula to get the rest of that chocolate. Okay, so I've added all my chocolate, and now I'm going to stir it in. And you should basically get, you know, like a basic chocolatey brownish batter. And the best part about these brownies is that they're not made with cocoa powder, so it's like you can see the actual darkness of the chocolate. It's amazing. Oh, and if you don't have chocolate but you do have cocoa powder, unfortunately you can't substitute it, so you need actual chocolate. But you don't need chocolate chips, you can have literally any kind of chocolate. So as you can see, it's getting that nice color. So I'm just gonna continue mixing it, and some of the sweet potato lumps are still there, so I'm just gonna press those in, and it doesn't matter if they stay there. I was freaking out the last time I made these. I was like, oh, I have so many lumps, and I tried to take some of them out, and like some of them I didn't end up taking out, but they were still really, really good. And like the brownies were like, of course, amazing, because this recipe is amazing. Okay, great. Now that it's all combined, it looks like very chocolatey. It has that brownie batter. It's not as like, it's a little bit more liquidy and fluid than regular brownie batter. Like, and that's perfect because it makes sense because there's no flour in it, and that makes them so much lighter and better. Okay, so I have my 9x13 inch baking pan here, and I have it lined with parchment paper. You don't need parchment paper, you can also just grease the pan, but I prefer putting something on top so that the pan doesn't get dirty. And even though parchment paper is like non-stick, I always use my Pam non-stick cooking spray, non-sponsored, to just like add a little bit more and make sure that it doesn't stick, because I don't want to have to go through a bunch of trouble. That's basically it. So now you're just gonna pour it into the pan and you're gonna bake for 35 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And you should have the oven preheated either from earlier when I told you to do so, or from when you were baking the sweet potatoes. So I'm going to put this in, and you don't have to use a 9 by 13 inch baking pan. You can use a square pan, you can use a longer pan, but I find that this one makes the best thickness of brownies, so I definitely recommend it. Here is the beautiful brownie batter. You can still see, like, oh, I have a like glove on. You still see pieces of sweet potato, which is good, and that's like supposed to happen and it's allowed to happen, but if you don't, it's also okay. So I'm just going to put it into the oven. So this is my convention oven, and make sure you guys like stay safe and like use an oven mitt and stuff. So I just took the brownies out of the oven and they look amazing. Take a look. You can still see like bits of sweet potato, but you're not even gonna taste it. And you can see that the edges are like nice and smooth, and like I don't even know how to explain it, but I can tell that it's like super soft, and I'm so excited. And I'm gonna let them cool, and I'm gonna cut into them and I'm gonna show you the pieces. Yeah.
A few minutes later.
Okay, so I took the pan and I cut up the batter into 16 brownies, and I put them on a platter, and like it looks so good. I just like, they're all like, I love these brownies because they're cut so cleanly, like, and they're really soft, but you can like pick them up with a spatula and they won't fall apart. But like, just look at this, it's beautiful. Okay, I'm very much fangirling over these, but yeah, that's it. That's the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please look out for more videos with StuyEats. I will be in some of them. I'm really excited. I hope you enjoyed these brownies. For any more information about them, you can go to Dig In's website, which will also be linked down below, and they have nutrition info if you're interested in that for each brownie. And yeah, that's basically it. Let me know if you have any questions. You can contact me directly or leave a comment on this post. And show me a picture if you made them, if they're good. Have fun and enjoy. Bye!